Hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome back to Planet Zoo, the beta. This is the penultimate episode of Betaville Zoo. Well, it's kind of the last one really, it's the last one where we build anything. There's one more episode where we're going to just have an overview walkthrough of the zoo and have a little chat about the beta and things like that. But this is the last time we're actually sort of getting things built. I'm going to say it now because people don't seem to understand that how video is recorded because people keep commenting saying, how are you still playing the beta? It finished. Yes, this was recorded days ago. It's incredible, isn't it? I'm recording the voiceover the day before this goes out, so a couple of days after the beta, but I've recorded the voiceover for the next episode the day before that. So, oh wow, it's magic, isn't it? YouTube, it really is. So yeah, we're going to finish off the Serengeti, the Safari Zone. The episode will be called something like Safari Part 2. But actually, we're doing a little bit of everything in this video, to be honest with you. It's kind of the finishing up episode. And if you've watched all the videos and you've watched the live streams, you'll have heard me talk about these green triangles, these little areas that you end up with. Usually triangular, where paths break off and you have exhibits and things like that. You end up with these green, and you just have to do something with them. You have to kind of either fit some stores there, or just a little bit of grass or something, or some rock work, or a statue, or you just kind of have to fill in these gaps at some point eventually. I mean, obviously you could probably design the whole place perfectly on the first go. I don't really work that way very well, to be honest with you. I kind of have to go free form and then come back and fix my problems later on. And that's what I'm doing here, really. So we've got this first green triangle that's in front of the reptile house, the empty reptile house, unfortunately. The only real sort of patient of the beta, I'm trying to think, casualty of the beta, that's the word I'm trying to find. The only real casualty of the beta, we did lose the interior of the reptile house, unfortunately, but the building still stands there, so it still looks good on photographs and stuff. But we had this big grassy area in front of it, and I thought, you know what, seeing as we've done that building and the building to the side of it in a more of a British traditional style, I thought a nice British garden at the front of it would be good. So kind of a hedge maze, not really a hedge maze, they're not really very high, just like a space you can walk around with that's kind of broken up with some hedges and some planting. Here's another little green triangle. Look, that's a nice quick way of filling one of those in. Looking around for more green triangles. There's a green triangle. I'm just throwing down bushes now. This is really just as the walkthrough that we're going to do next episode isn't completely sort of barren areas. So here, look, green triangle, green triangle. I end up with loads of them. I don't know if anyone else does this. Let me know in the comments. When you're playing Planet Zoo or when you're playing Planet Coaster, do you end up with green triangles that you just have to fill in? Or is it just how I design stuff that I end up with green triangles? Oh, the footage has moved around a bit there. You'll see a building on the left, but we're going to build that in a minute. See, again, time means nothing in YouTube videos. Okay, so back into the safari then. And we build a hard shelter. We need somewhere for these animals to clear off to if the weather's really bad or if they just want to sleep indoors at night. So we're going to build it. It needs to be big enough for giraffes because we do add giraffes. Well, we add a giraffe. I could afford one giraffe. This poor, tall dude hanging out on his own, we end up with one giraffe and a few zebra as well, and that's it. That's all we manage. But then we've also got the ostrich and we've got the sable antelope. It actually doesn't look too bad at the end. You'll see some shots at the end with all the animals in, and actually it looks pretty good. It looks pretty full, I should say. It actually looks like there's some animals in the place, and that's pretty good. This building-wise, again, really simple sort of stuff now, because to be honest with you, I was playing on borrowed time at this point. This was all recorded, I think, the morning of the beta finishing. So it was literally a case of, I really want to sort of box this off. I really want to get the project finished, in air quotes, as best as I can. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out, but obviously on full release, when we've got more time and the idea that stuff isn't being deleted like it is in the beta, we will obviously be putting a hell of a lot more detail into this sort of stuff. But for now, I really wanted to sort of just kind of cap it off with what needs to be there, such as some shelters. So it literally is just a big lean-to. With some space there for some bedding and what have you, and then really it's just a case of kind of filling in the gaps here with some foliage, making sure that everything is just sort of tied together a little bit through planting of trees and what have you. Now we're going to cut over to a building then. Yes, I realised that we don't really have any stores over this side of the place, and especially here in this really hot climate, the people are desperate for drinks all the time. So we've got some at the entrance, and we've got some behind the, next to the warthogs it is, behind the tortoise exhibit. And yeah, I felt that the game, we needed some over this side, and probably more, to be honest with you. I need to have a look at some zoo maps. Well, I've been looking at zoo maps forever, to be honest with you, for the last few months, and sort of enclosure maps and walkthroughs on YouTube and loads of stuff, to be honest with you. I'm kind of consuming so much zoo content right now. But one thing I haven't really been paying attention to is how many stores there are, because one thing I noticed when I started looking at theme parks objectively, you know, when I started looking at theme parks from a design point of view for Planet Coaster, I noticed there was a hell of a lot more stores around than you probably realise. They are everywhere. There are little drink stalls, little ice cream stalls, Dippin' Dots, candy floss, all those kind of things. They're everywhere. And I don't think you really realise them until you're looking for them, but I think the idea is that as soon as you are looking for them, you can find one pretty quick. Now, I don't know whether that translates to zoos, actually. I've got to take a look. Are they as everywhere as they are in theme parks or not? I'm not too sure, actually. So here, I throw that building together, to be honest with you. I kind of like how it turned out, but it's, again, it's just not my usual level of detail, you know. I need to keep stressing that in case you find this video as a one-off. Go back and look at some of the other stuff we've done in the beta, like the Garfield exhibit. I was quite proud of. The Pimp My Habitat stuff's all pretty good, but again, full release. Can't wait to sort of really take my time and do some more detailed exhibits. So here we're just sort of fancying up the shell of the building that we built in the last episode. Just kind of make it look a little bit more appealing to the members of the public who are coming by, and then also we need a name for this safari. And one thing I've noticed a lot in this game, the animals are all named from where they're from, which I really quite like. And a lot of areas in zoos are often named words using the language that they are meant to be based around. So you get a lot of like Swahili words or something for African areas. They often look good to a Western eye. They often work well on signage and stuff. Case in point is Azori Gardens, which is a zoo series in Planet Coaster, myself and Mass Bandit. Azori is the Swahili word for beautiful. But when we were looking for names for the place, I said, we tried all sorts. I was like, so what's the Swahili word for coaster? There isn't one. What's the Swahili word for, ride or whatever? And so I did that one, ride. I was like, oh, what's the Swahili word for ride? Turns out, safari, that's where we get the word safari from. It's the Swahili word for ride. And I thought it was quite funny to have the place called Safari Zoo or Safari Gardens. And I thought that'd be quite good to call the safari. So it's the Swahili word for ride. It's called the Ride Safari. Anyway, there you go. We finished off the areas. Like I said, next video for Planet Zoo in 2 days. So not tomorrow, the day after. We're doing a Planet Zoo video every other day now. So not tomorrow, the one after is going to be a complete walkthrough of the whole of Betaville Zoo. We're going to look at each exhibit overall, talk about the beta, how I think it went, that kind of stuff. It's not like a proper official review of the beta or anything. But yeah, we'll just have a look over and how I feel about it and how we're looking forward to the full game. And then after that, there's another Planet Zoo series coming to the channel, which is called Fixing Goodwin, where we go to Goodwin Manor or Goodwin House, I forget what it's actually called, which was the tutorial level you could play in the beta, and we're going to go through and rebuild in real time each of the exhibits there, and that should hopefully take us up to just before the release of the full game. We've also got some Zoo Tycoon 2 coming to the channel, we've got some Prehistoric Kingdom coming to the channel soon, and other bits and bobs as well, while we fill the gap waiting for full release of this on November 5th. There you go, look, when you get a few animals in the shot, it actually looks pretty good. I think this is awesome how all the trucks come along here at the back. They've obviously been held up by an animal there on the track, and then they all start piling in afterwards. I think that's ace. Somebody suggested that because the track was lower than the ground, might suggest while the animals have slept there, maybe they won't do it if they register its track. Good point. Maybe it works that way. We're going to have to wait till full release to try now. I can't actually play the game. Again, this is pre-recorded. It's amazing, isn't it? The magic of YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next one, be good.